I know I spoke to you last time about a potential anti-Joshua Tyson Fury fight that they're going to try to make, and it seems like now it's more or less done. They're waiting an official announcement and where it's going to take place. So a lot has happened since we last spoke. Now, also, I know you fought Fury, and obviously you've sparred Anthony Joshua as well. And I remember when Oscar De La Hoya was asked the question, who punches harder, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather? And it may look from the opposite that Manny Pacquiao punches harder, but Oscar De La Hoya, and I quote, he said, well, the power is roughly the same. Now, when you look at Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, you may see that Anthony Joshua actually is the bigger power puncher. But you've been in the ring with both men. Obviously, you sparred one, you fought the other one competitively. Who punched hardest?
I would say that Joshua punched harder. I think he's a bigger puncher, and yeah, that's how I see it, and that's how I felt. So.
Those are the words of Otto Wallin when he was asked who was the bigger puncher between Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, and Anthony Joshua, the two-time unified champion. So, we have the battle of who punches the hardest. Okay. Otto Wallin, he sparred with Joshua. He sparred with two-time heavyweight champion, also Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. And he states that Anthony Joshua hits the hardest. Now, first off, let me just make it clear. Who can hit the hardest can be a factor in the fight between the two. But we have to remember something. Boxing, the sport that I love that I hate so much, is also the rules of engagement. The number one rule of boxing is to hit without being hit. So if Tyson Fury, regardless of him punching harder to a particular person, like Otto Wallin, for example, it doesn't matter if it happens or not. If he can punch harder than Joshua or he can't punch harder than Joshua. What matters is, can he punch? Can he inflict pain from his punching? Can he do what he needs to do to win the fight from the punching power that he possesses? That's really all that matters at the end of the day. Now, a lot of people look too much into this and, Tyson hurt Wilder, this, that, and the other. Look, okay, Wilder is a totally different story. Wilder's been buckled by Ortiz and Tyson Fury in the first fight. Okay, he's been hurt before. He's been buckled. He's unorthodox. He gets hit with certain shots. That's what happens. Does that make him any less than the man, though? No, it does not. This is the heavyweight division. What Otto Wallin is saying is, hey, I sparred with Anthony Joshua. He can punch like a mother sucker. He punches pretty hard. I fought Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury doesn't appear to punch that much harder than, or that hard, like Joshua does. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Anthony Joshua punches harder than Tyson Fury. Okay, well, that's no big secret at all. Okay, in fact, that's one of the attributes of Anthony Joshua. It would be a good thing that he did with each and every punch because he's going to need it, because if Tyson Fury is elusive in there, he's going to have to, if he hits Tyson Fury, he's going to have to hurt everything that he hits him with. And that is what it is. Now, with Otto Wallin, he's a good barometer because he sparred this guy, then fought this other guy, and then, he knows what it's like to be in the ring, to share some type of physical contact with these particular individuals, these gentlemen. Okay? Now, again, what does this mean? It doesn't mean anything. It does clarify something. It clarifies that Anthony Joshua can punch. Okay? Otto Wallin just was in there with, someone that was a lot slower than him, but Dominic Brazil, and he took a lot of hard punches from Dominic Brazil. Okay? So for him to say, hey, you know what? Anthony Joshua can hit hard. Okay? That shows a lot because no one ever said that Dominic Brazil couldn't. His kryptonite is his speed. He doesn't have really too much of speed when he does fight. He's very slow. He's a slow fighter. He's like a slower George Foreman to me, right? So it's interesting to hear Otto Wallin compare strengths together. But again, me counterpunching this does not surprise me. I think Anthony Joshua, you can tell by when these guys either train and when they're working on the mitts or when they're working the heavy bag or whatever. You can tell that Anthony Joshua's punches are more sharp, crisp. I'm not even going to say accurate, but the thud, the impact of how they land those punches, you can tell that Anthony Joshua's appears to be the bigger puncher in there. But again, if he's the bigger puncher at the end of the day, he's going to need it against someone elusive, like the style of Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Otto Wallin stating that Anthony Joshua punches harder than Tyson Fury. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.